Hey everybody, it's time to go make a new video. You saw the title. What in the heck am I talking about? Leica sucks? Well, I'll explain that in a minute. The new M11 is around the corner. I'm going to talk about that as well. It's a beautiful sunny day, but as you can see by the hat I'm wearing, it's pretty dang cold. Let's go inside and talk. What Leica sucks? How dare I put that title on this video? Some of you are going to say, that's clickbait. Some of you are going to say, I can't believe, Steve, that you would say that about Leica after promoting them for 14 years, or how long has it been now? Well, since the M8 came out, I have been hardcore Leica all the way, up until the last couple of years. I will preface this by stating my current favorite camera in the world in 35mm full format as of today, January 2022, is the Leica SL2S. I love Leica. I love their history. I love the heritage. I love what they stand for. I love the fact that they're always the most simplistic camera that you can buy. The menus aren't bloated. They're clean and neat. They look good. The bodies feel great for the most part. But let's talk a little bit about why Leica sucks. Now, you saw the title, Leica Sucks, ... I have to finish that sentence. What I was going to say is, Leica sucks the money from your bank account, from your wallet. It sucks it to your credit card, or from your credit card where you have to pay it off. Leica sucks your cash flow because they always release cameras that kind of get people excited. Well, if you're a Leica fan, I know anytime there's a new Leica, you have the anti-Leica crowd, and you have the pro-Leica crowd, and you have some in the middle who are not sure. They've never had a Leica, but they're reading about the hype, and they're really liking what they're hearing. So you have those three segments when a new Leica comes out. The M11 is coming out any day now, in the next couple of days. Now, I've known about the specs for quite a few weeks. I don't have one. I'm not going to review it. I'll tell you why I'm not going to review it. It's not because I don't have one. It's because I only review gear that I can recommend fully and that I would own myself or buy myself. I've had this policy on this channel for years. I've talked about it on my website. I'm not the kind of reviewer who just reviews every new product and hypes it and pushes it and says, here's this new product. I'm not into making commercials these days for companies. I'd rather be honest, but I found that you can't be honest and have a relationship with camera companies. It just doesn't work that way. So I only review gear that I would buy or own myself. And the Leica M11, for me, is the first M since the M8 that I have zero interest in acquiring. And I'll tell you why. Now, I'm not saying it's a bad camera. I'm saying it's not for me. The Leica M11 is coming out. It's 60 megapixels. That sensor, it has a 60 megapixel sensor. It's not going to be the greatest in low light. And I used to love shooting in low light. That's why I feel 24 megapixel has always been the sweet spot for me. It's a combo of fantastic dynamic range, resolution, and low light capabilities. Now, Leica has this 60 megapixel sensor in the M11, but you can shoot it at lower resolutions, which will help with the noise levels. So you could set it to 24 megapixel, probably, and you can shoot it with lower noise. That is the main new feature from the M10 to the M11. There's also an electronic shutter, but from what I've been hearing from those who do have the camera, and I have a lot of friends in the photo industry, I'm hearing the electronic shutter is kind of the same as the one in the Hasselblad X1D. And those who have read my review on that know what that issue is. With the X1D, if you shoot with the electronic shutter, or the 907X, if you move at all when you hold that shutter down, you're going to get a warped, slanted, distorted image, the jello effect, right? Supposedly, from what I hear, the Leica M11 has the same issue. So you're going to have to put it on a tripod or be really still. And with 60 megapixels, you're probably going to want to do that anyway. The new thing of the M11, there's no base plate. If you remember all the previous M's, going back to the film M's, you had to unlatch the metal base plate. Well, it's done for. It's no longer there. The battery goes right in the bottom, kind of like how the SL battery plops in right through the bottom. I actually love that design. I think that that was a good idea that they removed the metal plate, actually. I think that's a more modern design. You don't have to constantly unscrew that plate to get to your battery or memory card. But the memory card is under the battery. You also have a USB-C port under the camera on the bottom. It made me think of the Apple wireless mouse where you have to plug it in underneath and you can't use it. Now that doesn't really convey to a camera because you're not out there shooting while you're hooked up to USB. It's just an interesting design choice. But at the end of the day, I don't think I want to spend $9,000 or $10,000, you know, there is tax everywhere these days, on a body-only Leica that shoots 60 megapixels. That's just not my thing. So that's why the M11 is not for me. I'm sure many Leica fans are going to enjoy it and love it. Also have a new VisiFlex, a new external EVF that's kind of big and blocky. Now that might relate to a really nice experience looking through it, but I thought external EVFs kind of went out many, many years ago. Let's see, the last camera with an external EVF, oh, the Leica M10 and the M240 before it. But every other manufacturer has dropped those big, bulky things you have to slap onto the hot shoe that get knocked off or broken or just look really weird. I wish Leica would have come up with a solution to have an internal EVF and the old school rangefinder for those who love that experience. Over the last few years, I've become frustrated with the rangefinder because I had 3 M10s over the last 3 years and they all went out of alignment. One was sent to me direct from Leica to review it with a very expensive lens, and it wouldn't even focus because the rangefinder was out of alignment. And when this happens, you have to send it in sometimes to Germany, and it might take a week, it might take 8 weeks, it might take longer. I have friends who've waited 3-4 months for their Leica to come back for service. And to me, when you're paying that much money, it's unacceptable. I just wish Leica would have come up with a EVF solution, some kind of hybrid, or, you know, we have the technology today to do anything. It's almost like we're getting alien technology from somewhere because some of the things that we have in this world are absolutely insane. But I'm sure an M12 in 3 years or 4, I don't know the cycle these days, maybe they will have an EVF, because that would be nice to have without having to buy a $1,000. Now, I don't know the price of the new one. It's going to be expensive. But without having to buy one of these that just slip onto the top. I remember having one on the M240 and I lost it, and it was like quite a few $100s to buy that thing. So I'd much rather have it built in. Part of the draw of the M to me is the design, the iconic look and design. When you add that big honking EVF on there, it just throws all that out the window. It's silly. To me, you might love it. But anyway, that's my thoughts on the M11. And the title of this video is not to say Leica sucks. I love Leica. Again, the SL2S, my favorite camera to date in 35mm format. I prefer it to any Sony, any Canon, any Nikon, but that's me personally. That's my personal taste. And that's why so many brands exist, because all of us each have a personal preference when it comes to the camera we like to shoot. I'm sure many of you will love and adore the M11. Have fun with it if you buy one. I will have a new video soon, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.